Hi, my name is Karthik and I am from executeautomation.com and welcome to an all-new video on Katalon Studio. Well, Katalon Studio is a all-new tool which is there for a while right now, and many people are currently starting to use it because of its simplicity. And we are going to talk about an introduction, installation, and getting started with Katalon Studio for mobile automation with Android. So let's quickly see what is this tool actually doing and what it actually brings to us. Alright, so let's get started. Katalon Studio is a simple and powerful test automation solution for not only web and mobile application, but also for web services, a revolution of Selenium and Appium framework. So Katalon Studio allows users with less experience in programming to work effortlessly by providing a predefined automation framework with hundreds of built-in keywords. So why Katalon Studio suddenly we are talking about in our exit automation? Well, we have seen many different tools in our mobile application automation in our exit automation channel, such as Appium, Robotium, Selendroid, and even Xamarin. But this tool, the Katalon, is the only tool which enables you to write automation code without actually coding it, which is really cool. And more like an maybe unified functional testing that you might have heard about, because if you do any recording in UFT, it automatically creates a test script for you behind the scene and you can just play it and it just runs fine. But also sometimes it breaks, but you have to change a little bit code here and there, but it still works. So that's what exactly Katalon is going to do. But the Katalon Studio is actually completely free. That's the good news, because Katalon Studio is not really going to ask you for paying. It's going to expect you to get some, or it's going to expect you for some donation or something like that. No, it is going to be completely free because it is actually developed by the KMS technology. So if you ask me what is KMS technology, well, they are very popular right now on providing different kinds of test automation solutions in different platforms and technologies. And Katalon Studio also have what is called as Katalon, which is a cloud-based solution where you can run your automation of mobile on cloud on the real devices. And that's where Katalon Studio's actual parent company is making the money. So this is not it. I mean, Katalon Studio is free and that's the great news. But if you're going to run on the cloud, of course, you have to spend some money. That's really cool because Katalon is not really going to ask you any money for using their tool. But if you're going to use their services, of course, you have to pay the money for them. And it is built on the top of Eclipse SDK. So you should be very familiar because it's kind of Java, and people from Java background can easily realize that, oh, this is an Eclipse IDE, so I know it. You can also use the Katalon Studio. I mean, you can go to the script tab and you can start writing some code over there, and you can also see like how you can customize the code. So it's more like QTP. If you have a prior knowledge, there is something called as keyword tab, and there is something called as a script tab where you can write the code, and the keyword tab you can just write the code by clicking on the button and start adding some keywords in there. That's exactly what it is in Katalon Studio as well. And finally, Katalon Studio also support record and playback for web application as well as mobile application. So you can record in different kinds of browsers and different kinds of mobile technologies, which is really cool. I mean, I really got impressed while using it because it is kind of straightforward, and also it will help you to automate both native as well as the hybrid application in mobile as well as in different kinds of browser in web. And you can also do recording in different kinds of browser, which is also very impressive. So the installation of Katalon Studio is going to be very simple. All you have to do is just download the zip file from Katalon Studio site by a simple sign up, and then you can extract the zip. Just double click the Katalon Studio icon. That's it. You're good to go. That's a very simple installation as well, because as I said, this is built on the top of Eclipse SDK, and you don't really have to install Eclipse itself. It's just a zip file. That's exactly what's going to happen in the Katalon Studio as well. Alright, so we are going to work with Android this time. So the only prerequisite that you need to have before starting to work with the Katalon Studio for Android is this. You should have Android SDK downloaded and the AVD created with you. And then you should set the home path of your Android, because it expects, the Katalon Studio also expects you to have this home path, because that's where the tool will realize that you have Android SDK downloaded into your machine. That's the very simple prerequisite for you, and you can just start working with Katalon Studio with Android very easily. Alright, so let's get started with Katalon Studio and understand how things work. So for that, I'm gonna flip to Chrome browser. Alright, this is the katalonstudio.com website, and you can see that I have already signed into this particular website, and you can just go over this download link or go over here to just download the Katalon Studio for the operating system that you're going to use. I don't think people right now have 32-bit version of operating system. Most of them will have 64-bit. So you can just go over here and just kind of download it. And there is a Mac OS X 64-bit version as well. So you can download from here as well if you're going to use Mac. I have Windows and I'm going to download this, and once you download, it is going to ask you for signing up. Because I have signed up, it is automatic downloading for me in here. So once the downloading is done completely, you will have a zip file. So I'm going to close this because I have already downloaded it, and I have also extracted the Katalon Studio into this particular folder. So c:/Katalon, that's where my Katalon Studio is available. And once you double click this, it is going to create a config file for you in here. So this is a custom metadata folder which will be created for each and every user based on their preferences. And as you can see, the UI is kind of familiar because it's built on the top of Eclipse. And yes, it is actually built on the top of Eclipse SDK. So that's it. That's the very simple, very neat looking Katalon Studio UI. And this 4.8 version of Katalon Studio has brought some new things like simple navigatable tutorials that you can see over here. It also shows you like how you can view the log, how you can generate the test cases, and how you can record, and how you can create a sample project over here. And also you can see there is some user guides where it will take you to the browser and it will show you how to work with Katalon Studio. Pretty simple and straightforward, much easy. So we are going to create a very simple new project this time and see how we can record for our Android application. Basically, I'm going to work with this particular application. If you have watched my previous videos on Execute Automation channel for Xamarin Automation, we are currently automating one of the hybrid application, and I'm going to use exactly the same hybrid application this time as well. So if you have not watched that particular video series, just go ahead and watch that, and you can understand how the Xamarin is automating the application for hybrid application, and how Katalon Studio is also handling the same kind of application in different fashion. Alright, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna create a new project this time, and I'm gonna name this as a Katalon Android demo, and I'm gonna hit OK. So it is gonna create a new project for me. There we go. So the first instance you'll struck into this particular window is going to be this test case. You can see there is a test case. This is kind of empty, and there's an object repository. So this concept is again from QTP or UFT right now. And there is a test suite, so you can create different kinds of suites based on the kind of test you're going to execute, maybe smoke test or regression test or order test or whatever you name it. And then you can also create some test data. So basically it is going to generate or support different kinds of test data. So if you see over here, you can see support Excel, CSV, database data, and internal data. So internal data is like a private variable you can use within your test code. That's cool, and you can use these options as well. I'm not going to create any test data, and I'm going to show you that, but this is a very neat feature which is available out of the box in the Katalon Studio. And then coming back to the checkpoints, if you remember again, the checkpoint is exactly the same thing which is available in QTP. And if you're not familiar with QTP and it's kind of new to you, the checkpoint is something which you can set for a particular test, and if a bug actually hits in there, it will run until that particular point, and then you can revert the test back to the original position. It's kind of checkpoint which is actually available for Windows Restore as well. And then finally there is a keyword option and there is a report option. So these are the different options which is available out of the box in Katalon Studio, much neater. And you can see there is a Spy Web and Spy Mobile. So I guess this is a neat feature because not many automation testing tools like Appium or Robotium or Selenium has it. Even the Appium Studio does not has it, but actually this Katalon Studio have it. So I'm going to use the Spy Mobile Recorder to see how I can actually record a particular application. So if you click this guy, it is going to bring you up a window, and it's going to ask you the emulator which you're going to record with. So this is the emulator which is actually running for me. It has already automatically detected that for me, which is great. And you can see there is a Katalon devices. This is again going to be coming from the cloud-based solution. So I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the local devices. And then there is a application file, and this application file is going to be the application which I'm going to automate right now. So basically I'm going to automate the Ionic application. If you remember in our previous videos of our exit automation channel on Xamarin, we automated this application, and I'm going to use the exact same application this time to automate as well. So I'm going to go all the way to the APK file of this application. I have chosen that, and now if I hit this particular start button, you can see that it is starting the application on my emulator right now. So you can see it's going to take a while because it has to actually do a lot of things like deploying the application into the emulators and then making a handshake with the application. And you can see the EA new, this particular Cordova symbol has come in here, and there we go. So the application has launched and it is capturing the initial objects here. Alright, so now the object has been captured, but that object was actually not very relevant for me to do because that was just a splash screen. So now if I capture once again, you can see that it is capturing the current instance of the window, this one. I guess this is a kind of bug because the whole application is not captured in a full screen, but somehow this particular thing is kind of working because if you hit this, you can see it is highlighting and it is coming over here. It is pretty much exactly like the UI automator. If you remember in our Android, if you click this, it's going to show you the properties. The window is kind of UI automator. I guess they have used exactly the same particular SDK to even show you this particular option. So that's exactly it is, but it is much simplified. The simplicity comes in while you click this particular option. It's going to show you the object properties over here, and also you can name the object property and you can add it. That's the very cool thing. So if you want, you can add it. For now, let's say I'm going to add this as txt demo text box because I don't know what text box it is. So I'm going to give this a name, and then I'm going to hit this add to the object repository. I'm going to hit OK. You can see this txt demo text box is actually added over there. That's cool. And similarly, you can just go to the each and every options like about button, and if you select this, it's going to show you all the properties for that particular about button. And you can see there is a resource ID and there is a package name and the content description. So everything is coming in automatically for you. Actually, you can use this application to even identify or spy for the object which you feel like you're not very comfortable in identifying those objects. All right, so now everything's looking cool. And now I'm going to just stop this particular mobile object spy because I actually don't want the mobile object spy itself. I'm going to close it. Rather, I'm going to go all the way to the record mobile option. So basically this is going to record the action for me, which is again very cool because you can see that it is going to record the action which I'm going to perform, more like what you do in the Selenium recorder or QDP test recorder or Xamarin test recorder. So everything is actually available in this particular free Katalon Studio. Great. So I'm going to use that. So the application is already selected for me because I have chosen that in the spy mobile option, so which is already cached in here. And then I'm going to hit the start test recorder option. So you can see that it's again going to launch the application for me, but this time it's not going to deploy the application because it's already available over there. So it's just going to start the application. You can see that the application has started. All right. And I'm going to capture the object once again because this screen is not the one which I'm looking for. All right, this screen. So once the screen comes in here, the things that we need to do is this. We need to specify the action that we need to perform. Basically, all the actions are sitting over here. So what I can do is maybe I can just expand this box a little bit here. All right. And these guys are right in here. And then I'm going to put this guy in here. So you can see the start application action is going to open the application. And then our next scenario for this particular test is going to be entering some text into this text box. So if I click this guy, there is some action like set text or clear text or hide keyboard, something like that. Maybe if I click this text box and if I'm going to, let's say, tap this guy, so you can see the capturing object is happening. At the same time, there was some execution of the command was happening. So once I clicked this, in real time, it is actually clicking into the device. You can see it in here in my device actually, right? So I have tapped it, and once I tap it, the keyboard layout has come in here. So what if I do this? I need to hide the keyboard. So if I do this, it's going to execute the command once again, and the keyboard has been hidden. So this is cool. Again, these are the most available actions out of the box in here, but if you want to add some more actions which is not available, something like swipe or maybe scroll, or if you want to do some kind of multi-touch options, then you need to write the code which is available as a keyword within the script editor. I guess it is not available in the UI for now. All right, and now if I want to swipe this way, no, I cannot do that. So because this option is not available, rather, let's say if I want to click this particular about button, so let's click this guy in here, and then I'm going to tap. So you can see it is clicking the about right now, right? And then I'm going to click the contact. I'm going to hit tap once again. There we go. We have the contact guy. And then I'm going to hit again the home, and then I'm going to hit tap here. All right, now we are in the home page of the application. That's it, that's my recording. I have recorded almost everything in here, and all the actions are recorded here. So you can see there is a timeout option automatically available, which is kind of default in here. So I'm gonna leave all these actions right now default. So I'm gonna hit OK, and it's gonna store all the object into the object repository. That's what it is asking. I'm gonna say OK. And this is going to be the new test case. Of course it is. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm not going to give any name this time. And you can see that it has created all the operation for us as a new test case over here, right? So why don't we just try to run this particular test and see how it works. So basically, if you just try to run this particular test on the Android, and you can see it is an option available, like to run in Chrome, Firefox, IE, Safari, Edge, Remote, or Headless, or Android. Because we have test running in Android, I need to select this particular option. So you can also specify some custom actions. So I don't really know what it is, so I'm gonna just leave it, and then I'm gonna hit Android, and I'm gonna hit OK. So basically this is gonna run the test for me on this particular emulator. So let's see what's really gonna happen here. So you can see there is some log viewer coming in. So it is starting the Appium server behind the scene on this particular port number 56247. So the application has just started, and it is checking for the timeout right now to wait till the application is available. It clicked the tab. All right, pretty cool, so fast. There we go, the test got passed. You can see that it has executed the test in 31.373 seconds, which was pretty fast. And now if you want to see the code which is generated based on this particular recording that we have did, you can just go to the script tab, and you can see these are the action that we recorded over here, right? So you can see mobile.tap of the find test object of this, and this is the timeout, I guess. So maybe if I just hit a comma there, control space, right? I guess it is not really showing the very helpful feature here, but yeah, that's the timeout, I guess. And then you can also do a lot of things. Maybe if you want to write some custom actions like mobile dot and clear text and close notification. So delay, drag and drop. Do I have swipe? There we go. You have a swipe option here as well. So you can just do a swipe and to this particular position, to this particular position, and then you can switch to web view. Yeah, you can do almost everything. So I'm not going to write any code in here. I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to go back to the script. And let's say I want to write some test over here using the manual way, which is nothing but the keyword way. Instead of tapping and hiding the keyboard, maybe what I can do is I'm just going to delete this tap option, which is kind of unnecessary. Rather, I'm going to add an action. Let's say I want to send a key or enter text, something like that. So is there anything like set? I think there was an option like send keys or set text, whatever it is. So I'm going to take send keys, and I'm going to send key for the txt demo text. Remember the one which we added using the object repository using the spy mobile option? I'm going to choose that guy, and then I'm going to send a key over here. Let's say it's going to be execute automation Katalon, and then I'm going to hit OK, which is good. And I'm going to drag this particular action all the way to the start application. So you can see the send keys is going to bring us the hide keyboard. I guess it is going to bring the keyboard, so the hide keyboard is going to be required. So I guess this is all it which I require. So once I enter the text, and then I'm going to need to perform this operation. All right, so why don't we just try to run this particular test right now? So I'm just going to run once again in the Android, and let's see what's really going to happen. So basically you should open the application and send the keys like exit automation Katalon, hide the keyboard, and tab all these tabs and close the application. That's it. That's the very simple action that it has to perform. All right, it opened the application and it should type right now, if I'm not wrong. I think it's no, I guess, because it is not really typing any value there, rather it has actually failed. What does it say? It says unable to send a key to the object. Root cause is it is not a browser, so browser is not open. I guess it is not send key then. It is I think it's my mistake. It's not their mistake. It is set text maybe. So set text is for, okay, let's come in here. Set text is going to be used for mobile, I guess. Okay, why don't we do this? Because I have seen this in the mobile recorder. So once I do this mobile recorder, it actually brought me the set text in the available action option. So I'm going to choose the same thing again, and let me try to run this in Android. Yeah, it's, I don't know what it is. So because I'm very new to Katalon as well, so let's see what's going to happen. So this time it should open the application. All right, it is starting the Appium server. It has launched the application. No, it again says browser is not opened. So maybe what I can do is like I will just try to spy the mobile once again, and let's start the application and see what's really going to happen. All right, so I guess this particular text box, and it is Android widget edit text 0. So I'm just going to leave the name this time as it is. Maybe is it because of that particular problem? Not pretty sure about it. So all right, and then I'm going to stop this particular guy. I'm going to close it. So now I have edit text of 0. So why don't I use this edit text of 0 instead of the one which I created my own? I mean, I just gave the custom name here. Rather, I'm going to use this guy. Right, so let's try to run this time and see how it works. So basically I'm just going to run this because I'm not very familiar with the test. So all right, you can see that it has typed something there, and it clicked all the tabs, and the test got passed. Pretty quick and pretty straightforward. So this is how we can actually add the keys. So this is how you can make a very simple recording for Android application using Katalon Studio, and which is really cool because it is pretty fast and easy to work with. And also, as I said, you can create the test data here, you can create the test suites, and then you can add the test report if you want, and then you can also create new packages. And also, as I said, you also have options to integrate this particular test with Jira and Qtest. So these are the other things which is available, which I'm not going to really talk about in the introduction video of the Katalon Studio itself. But yes, this is really cool to see that you can write a very simple automation for Android with record and playback using Katalon Studio, that too with free tool. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great day.